That's a bloody big boom. Hello everyone, hope you're all having a wonderful day. And today guys, I just want to make a quick little video talking about a really overpowered amulet right now inside of Remnant 2. So in the balance patch that Remnant 2 had last week, there was an amulet that received one notable fix / buff, and that amulet is the Energized Neck Coil. I know Mr. Nacho has done a video talking about this exact amulet and showcasing off a build that a community friend of his put together. So I'm not exactly sure what was wrong with the amulet before. I don't think it was scaling properly with status effect damage. Again, I'm not 100% sure. The only thing I'm 100% sure on right now is that it is definitely working. And it is now doing some insane amounts of damage, especially if you know how to set it up correctly. So I am going to show you guys how you can take full advantage of the Energized Neck Coil. There's definitely a lot of different interactions you can use to try and get the maximum amount of damage that Energized Neck Coil can put out. So what does the Energized Neck Coil do? So the Energized Neck Coil increases your status effect damage by 25%, directly applying a damaging status effects, creates a 5-meter explosion for 20% of the status effect's full damage. Each target can be affected once every 5 seconds. That's also very handy to know as well, and this is one of the reasons why this amulet is just so strong now. But the main reason this amulet is so strong is it is now, I think, properly scaling off status effect damage and doing the full amount of damage that this amulet was supposed to be doing. And I gotta say, it hits like an absolute truck now. So how can you take advantage of this? I'm sure by now you guys have seen Mr. Nacho's video talking about the Energized Neck Coil and that new build that he posted. If you haven't, I highly recommend you go try check him out. Makes awesome Remnant 2 content. So the one thing that they did show off is the pulse rifle with featured wounds. Now, featured wounds, as you can see, it is now dealing 3,480 corrosive damage over 40 seconds. So the main way you want to set the Energized Neck Coil up is either have Ritualist or have the Ritualist trait Affliction fully maxed out. This is going to increase your status effect duration, which in turn is going to make your status effect do more damage, which is going to make your Energized Neck Coil do more damage. And then the other way you can get more damage with the Energized Neck Coil is with the Timekeeper's Jewel. Pairing the Timekeeper's Jewel up with Energized Neck Coil and the Ritualist Affliction trait maxed out is how you're going to get the most amount out of the Energized Neck Coil damage now. So that is why we have 40 seconds of corrosion damage, and it's going to be dealing 3,480 damage, and that is then going to be dished out with Energized Neck Coil every 5 seconds on each individual enemy. So yeah, now this amulet is friggin' ridiculous. So to kind of show this working, I'm just using the Timekeeper's Jewel. Stoneham 11 is just trying to get mod back faster. Not that it really matters. I probably should put more damage on just to show you doing more damage, but realistically you're going to have the Stoneham 11 on in your build. But I have got Burn and Destroy just give 15% increase to damage, and then also Probability Chord, because when the Energized Neck Coil does crit, that's when it hits like a friggin' truck. It already hits like a truck, but when it crits, you get like the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7k crit. And depending on what you're using, it can even go higher than that. So with the pulse rifle, we have featured wounds on here. So we're just going to shoot the training dummy. As you can see, we get a 1,300 damage explosion from Energized Neck Coil. Wait 5 seconds. Boom, there's another one. So every 5 seconds, and again, remember this is on individual targets. So we can go there, wait 5 seconds here. Oh, come on, there it goes. Go over there, boom. Go over here, boom. Oh, there it goes, it crits. So like, the more enemies that are in the room, the more the more explosions you're going to be able to get off. It's just that simple. It's just so strong. So that is with featured wounds, I think arguably probably the best way to use Energized Neck Coil, because just about any gun can take advantage of featured wounds. You can put on the pulse rifle, you can put on any weapon you want. Like you put on the crossbow for God's sake, and you can put featured wounds on there. You're gonna get the Energized Neck Coil explosions, and it's gonna give you more damage. Another way that I've been enjoying the Energized Neck Coil at the moment is with Witchfire. Witchfire is the mod. It's going to deal 5,000 burning damage over 40 seconds, and also does really decent fire damage in general. So we're going to use this, and this gives you about 1,800 damage, 1,800 damage, I think. Yeah, about just shy of 1,800. Doing it to crit, I can't remember how much crit's for, that didn't work there, did it? I think it just crit there. Was that the 3000? That must have been the 3000. Either that or it was from the pulse rifle. Could have been from the pulse rifle. Let's see if I can't get this to crit. God damn it. Do what I want you to do. It's not going to do it. Why are you being a piece of shit? Now, the main reason I like Witchfire is because it can proc individually on each enemy. So if you line up a whole bunch of enemies, look at that. It just boom, 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 boom. They just pop off like little dominoes. And see, look, there it goes. You don't even have to do anything. You can get 2 procs off the same fire as long as the enemies are standing in it, or even they might walk out of it, walk back through it. They're going to get reprocced off just the fire, and it can do about 3k if it crits, which is insane. Again, Witchfire, you're not going to get flying enemies, but it is still really strong, and it synergizes really well with Energized Netcoil. And then I think the main way everyone's using, hence the intro I did, is Krell Axe. You put Tainted Blade on Krell Axe. Unfortunately, Energized Netcoil does not seem to be working with Overload, so I'm not sure if that's a bug, if it's intended. Not 100% sure. I doubt it's intended, but we'll have to see if it gets fixed when they bring out the DLC. So you can put the Tainted Blade on Krell Axe, or any melee weapon for that matter that you can use at range. And yeah, you're just going to get a big, juicy 6,000 damage crit. And, you know, if you just do that every 5 seconds, even normally it does about 3,500. And I'm not really got the best build set up for this. There's probably people finding plenty of better ways to exploit the Energized Netcoil now. Now, the other thing I did forget to mention, the main thing you want to focus on with the Energized Netcoil is the amount of status effect damage that the weapon or mod or mutator does. So for the Alpha Leon, see, it has 6,300 burning damage. That's going to do more damage when Energized Netcoil actually explodes. So this is why something like the Sparkfire shotgun isn't very good. Even with all the status effect buffs and everything that I am taking, it still only does 558.9 measly fire damage over 12 seconds. That is not enough. You don't want to be wasting the Netcoil's proc on something as weak as the Sparkfire shotgun's incendiary round. And you could put the mutator on, and apparently people have been saying that it does prioritize your biggest status effect that you have available. So if you put the Feeded Wounds or the Twisting Wounds onto the Sparkfire shotgun, if you do hit bleed, it will proc that, but obviously you're going to be shooting fire all the time, so yeah, you're going to be probably more than likely proccing the fire, and that's why the Sparkfire shotgun. So we also have the Alpha Leon. The Alpha Leon, as I was just saying, does 6,300 burn damage over 40 seconds. So the Alpha Leon is also another good gun that you can use with the Energized Netcoil. It does, yeah, see if I can get the actual damage here to pop up for you. Boom. There was a lot of damage there. Get that to do it again. It's obviously going to cap out, but that was a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. The only issue with the Alpha Leon is it's just awkward to use. You got to shoot the fire things out, then you have to actually shoot them yourself. It doesn't do as much damage when you shoot out normally. It does like literally 1/3 of the damage. But it is cool to see that the Alpha Leon hits like an absolute truck with the Energized Netcoil. The regular Alpha Leon does work as well, obviously, but I do prefer the corrupted version, just because it has more little explosions to go off, more fire damage, it hits more enemies. This I find gets me killed more times than not. Literally, as I said that, this gets me killed more times than none, because it's got a bigger explosion. But it does still work as well. I just don't really like the regular Alpha Leon that much, or the corrupted one, but the corrupted one's at least is just a little bit better. Now, as for the Merciless, you're probably thinking, oh, is the Merciless good for the Energized Netcoil? Well, it is, but you gotta remember, you don't apply bleed instantly all the time. You gotta spray like, what, 10 bullets before you actually get the bleed proc. I mean, it is consistent. It's good, but I mean, you can just put Feeded Wounds or Twisting Wounds on the Merciless, and it's just gonna, you know, proc it faster for you. I don't know, maybe the Merciless might be kind of good, but again, why would you take the energized net coil over the abrasive whetstone. I feel like this is just going to be a much better damage increase overall. If you want to break the game, if you want to absolutely break the fucking game and just send everything to the Shadow Realm, use the Corrupted Nebula. Now, the Corrupted Nebula, I am sort of on the fence about because you have to score weak spot hits and or kill enemies to get your nanobots out now. There's a lot of enemies that don't have weak spot. You can use the Boar mod to get weak spots, but either way, this weapon is mainly for bossing. I'm sure you guys have probably seen how broken this gun is. It is actually bugged. It is confirmed to be bugged. So when it does get fixed, nobody get mad that their one-shotting weapon got fixed, okay? It is bugged and it probably is going to get fixed because the status effect damage just continuously keeps scaling. And this is why this weapon is so broken with energized net coil. So if I go and show you, we're just going to delete these. Decent damage. Let's use some more. Oh, now I have to reload. What an idiot. Boom, decent damage. Now, if you look at the corrosive damage, it just keeps scaling. It just keeps scaling. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop as long as you keep blowing the nano swarms up. The corrosive damage will not stop scaling. And as you can see, energized net coil starts hitting for like 20,000 damage. At the moment, we're at 13,000 damage. But if I sit here for a little bit longer, we're going to get it higher. We're already ticking for 2k corrosive damage now. Now, obviously, there was 23,000. Oh my god. Obviously, this is very unpractical. Like, you're not going to do this on a boss. He's not going to survive for this long. He's already dead. So you're never going to see this amount of damage. It's just nice. If you're bored, you can play around on the training dummy and just get some insane damage. I've seen people get up to 100,000 damage crit from energized net coil because they probably just sat here for 30 minutes to see how much damage they could actually get. So if you want to break the game, by all means, use the Corrupted Nebula. It mainly is only going to work on bosses and stuff that have really easy to hit weak spots. If they don't have weak spots, it isn't going to work, but most bosses do have weak spots. So the Corrupted Nebula is just going to absolutely destroy them. That was 40,000 damage. We're getting there. We're getting there. But either way, this is how you can break the game now with the Corrupted Nebula. Look at those like nearly 5,000 corrosive dots ticking away. Absolutely absurd. Now, next weapon that works insanely well with the energized net coil is the Star Shot. No surprise there as well. Now, why it doesn't do that much burning damage, you got to remember this gets increased by pretty much 25% at maximum amount of charges. It's still not the best burning damage, but we all know the Star Shot already hits really hard as it is. So now when you use Star Shot with energized net coil, you get double the explosions. Let's see if we can't get some nice crits from this one shot here. Okay, so I totally didn't blow myself up. Let's see if we can't get some tasty crits on this training dummy really far away. Boom, look at that. I think the 4k there was probably the energized net coil, and then we had the 7k there, which I think is from the Star Shot, because now if you use Summoner, it double dips off mod and explosive damage. The Star Shot got a massive buff with the balance patch. Boom! I didn't get any crits that time, but still, you can get some really good damage out of the Star Shot now. You pair this up with Archon, and you get like the mod switch happening again, and yeah, bosses are just going to get absolutely vaporized. And then the last weapon I want to show you that I think works really well with the energized net coil is the Hellfire and also the Nebula. I don't have the regular Nebula anymore. I've got the corrupted one. Both of these guns are going to do the exact same job. Prior to this, I didn't really like the flamethrowing weapons. I didn't think they were really that great. But with energizing net coil, they actually perform pretty well now. So you just spray the enemy, boom. There you go. You do 1800 damage. Spray the enemy a little bit more, boom, more 1800 damage. So if you're really in a tight spot, you can just brrr, and all the enemies are going to get hit. Remember, energized net coil procs on each individual enemy. So yeah, you just brrr, brrr, you just spray flame everywhere, and yeah, all the enemies are just going to blow up. It's a real good get out of jail free card now. And then obviously the Hellfire has the explosive mod, which is you know, going to blow up, deal fire damage, and also proc energizing net coil. Not that strong, but it is nice that you have two options. Maybe you want to, you know, get them at range as well. You can use the Hellfire's mod. It does pretty decent damage. And another really cool synergy is when you use Miasma. As you know, it's going to proc on each individual enemies. Miasma is a massive status effect AoE. Miasma is really strong with Energized Net Coil. This is instantly going to delete a lot of ads that might be pressuring you. You might be getting overwhelmed by geisha meatballs. One Miasma, problem friggin' solved. I'm pretty sure I said this was going to be a quick video, and I don't think it ended up being a quick video at all. Sorry if this video was a little bit longer, guys. Sorry if I bored you to death over there. I just wanted to show you guys some really cool synergies that you can use with the Energized Net Coil, and also show you that the Energized Net Coil is just absolutely insane now. So basically, the TLDR, too long didn't read, just use the Defeated Wounds or Twisting Wounds on any weapon you want with Energized Net Coil. Big boom, good damage, and then just use anything that has really high status effect damage, because that is how you're going to get the most amount of damage out of Energized Net Coil. And that's basically it, guys. Appreciate all the support as always, and until next time, stay safe, peace out.